Hang on a second. Is this what I think it is? Is this a sweet treat video?
No, Anthony, this isn't a sweet treat video. This is the intro to my new podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Undiagnosed Show. I've been captured and I'm being held hostage in my own car. I don't know why I thought that was going to be really funny. It wasn't that funny, but it is what it is. I thought it was a nice little way to start the Undiagnosed Show. Today's episode of the Undiagnosed Show. How is everyone? I'm hoping everyone's really great. I'm great. We've got some big news today. We've got some amazing stuff to discuss. Yeah, it's a really big week. I want to say thank you, in all seriousness, to everybody, who does watch my videos. I'm very grateful for the life that I get to live. I really hope that into the future I can keep, trying to spread happiness and laughter, because that's what I want. Seriously, honestly, life is way too short to be as grumpy as we all are. You know how we're all a bit grumpy, especially me. I get very grumpy. So I'm very grateful for this life that I get to live, and obviously, I ain't about to say that I've done nothing. I've worked hard to get it. I was working 70 hours a week last year, whilst at the same time filming 5 TikToks a day. But at the end of the day, realistically, the only people who can make those TikToks do well is yourselves. So I really do appreciate it. I do appreciate the fact that you've listened and watched, and you know what I mean? I do actually appreciate that. So thank you very much. Now let's get into the segments. That's another thing. I'm trying to segment the podcast better because I think it's important to have segments in a podcast. I want to hear segments. So the first segment, pretty simple. It's just what happened this week. Let's get into it. Firstly, I've got sad news. I had a big fight with someone that's been on this podcast. I'm not going to name names. Let me have a sip. So I had a big fight with someone that's been on this podcast. I'll actually go through the whole thing because why not? We've got time. So long story short, I'm in a friendship group with this person, one of my best friends, right? One of my bestest best friends. We were going down to the beach last weekend for the podcast. We were going to watch the podcast on the big screen for the first time. Yeah, that's exciting, isn't it? Yeah, that's nice. Anyway, we were going to watch it, and this friend is notorious for being a little bit self-indulged, but I love her. Do you know what I mean? I don't love her because she's the most kind, caring person. I love her because she provides happiness and funniness for me. You know what I mean? You got to appreciate your friends for what they are. You know what I mean? Not everyone's going to be perfect. Lord knows I'm not perfect. I'm actually the antithesis of perfect. I'm imperfect. That's funny. Yeah, that is nice. Anyway, long story short, yeah. She just every step of the way somehow made the trip about her. We had to leave 4 hours late to go down to my parents' beach house. We had to leave 4 hours late because she had an appointment that she couldn't cancel. I said, what do you mean you can't cancel? She said, I can't. I said, why not? She goes, because the lady that's doing the appointment goes away in a month. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what is it? And she goes, it's laser. There's 7,000 laser places in Melbourne, but I get it. She wanted to go to that same laser place. I was like, okay, well then you can just call and reschedule. No, I can't. I said, you can't, or you're scared to make a phone call. No, I get phone anxiety. I don't want to. That was that. I'm trying to make this story as short as possible whilst also giving you enough detail. Then on the night there was more stuff to do with that. She sent me an apology I didn't believe. It was hey, so I acknowledged, I've upset, sorry. It was wasn't a real sorry, you know what I mean? You know when you can tell someone's sorry or someone's actually feeling empathy for you? It wasn't that. Anyway, then we went down to the beach house, and the whole time we were trying to watch the podcast, she was talking. You know what I mean? You know what? Let's call this friend Jenny, right? There's 3 friends involved in this story. There's other than me. There's Jenny. There's another one called, let's call her Ali, and there's another one called Liz. Jenny, Ali, and Liz. Right now we're talking about Jenny. I love her so much. Was one of my best friends. Yeah, you see, that was subtle foreshadowing. You know that star sound, bring, subtle foreshadowing. Yep. Anyway. So we're watching it, and the whole time she's talking and trying to distract everyone. And I'm like, Jenny, please. And she's like, oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I got ADHD. Let's talk about using ADHD as an excuse. It's not an excuse, babe. Anyway, I got ADHD. I was like, yeah, that's fine, but can we just please pay attention? It's only a 35-minute podcast. You know what I mean? Anyway, For about 2 minutes, she pays attention, and then she starts distracting everyone, putting their phone. Have a look at this photo, guys. Look at this photo. And I actually just closed the laptop. I was like, Jenny, it's actually really rude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is just rude. We're not going to watch the podcast. So we didn't watch the podcast. We actually ended up having a really nice night because I just put my feelings to the side, as you often do with these people, right? Anyway, so put my feelings to the side. We have a really nice night. The next morning, 10 a.m., we were supposed to stay till about 2 p.m. that day, right? We were going to have a really nice night. So 4 hours before we leave, Jenny decides she's having the worst period cramps of her life. Mind you, I say decides because if it were anyone else, literally any of my other friends, I would have fully believed them. Not Jenny. Jenny's the boy who cried wolf. She cries about everything. She will literally cry about a paper cut. It's actually really upsetting because I want to be really empathetic and I just can't. And this story's taking way too long. Anyway, so we have to leave 4 hours early because Jenny is saying, I have to leave. We have to drive home now. Mind you, I've driven everyone up. That's right, because I'm the donkey that drives everyone all the time. It's fine. I like driving. But so Jenny has to go home. So I have to drive everyone home, right? While Jenny... So mind you, Ali is there. Ali, one of the girls, Ali is there. There's about 5 of us there. And Ali's one of the girls that's there. The whole time Jenny's outside, right? Ali's talking shit to me. She's talking about Jenny. She needs to be in a psychiatric ward. She's fucking crazy. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to be friends with her. Me and Liz, the other girl, talk about it all the time. She's actually a psycho. There's no way to deal with her. My response, listen to this, I ate it up. My response to every time, yep, I agree with you, Ali. I'm trying to be empathetic while still maintaining my boundaries, and Jenny just makes it really hard to do that. I'm trying to be empathetic. Every single time Ali was talking shit about Jenny, that's what I was saying. I'm trying to be empathetic while still maintaining my boundaries, and Jenny is making it hard to do that. Ali's bitching about Jenny the whole time. Mind you, Ali and Jenny, best friends, okay? Best friends. So me and Jenny are best friends, Ali and Jenny are best friends, and me and Ali are somewhat friends. Yeah, somewhat friends, right? That all happens. It's fine. We get home. I am emotionally exhausted because I've had to stop myself from reacting and being like, Jenny, stop being a selfish cow. Do you know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, I'm really close with Jenny and I do not enable behavior. One thing about me, you'll never catch me enabling someone's poor behavior. So the first reaction for me always is to tell someone, sorry, there's something. My first reaction is always tell someone off when they're being ridiculous. But like I said, I was trying to be empathetic. So I didn't. So I send a message around specifically to Jenny, but to a few other people. Hey, just letting you know, I'm going to be off my phone this week. I feel really energetically exhausted. So if I don't respond to your messages, you know why. It was Jenny. That's why. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that happens. Jenny then sends an apology saying, I'm really sorry for... No, she doesn't say sorry, actually. She said, I just wanted to bring up the way I acted when we were watching the podcast. The way we acted, right? That's the other thing about Jenny. Oh, I love her, but God, she can't take accountability. In her apology for the way she acted on the podcast night, she goes, we were all talking. No, baby, no one else was talking but you. No one else was talking. Just take it. If you're going to try to take accountability, just take accountability, babe. But these people, narcissists, they can't take accountability. And if they try to take accountability, it's performative, right? And that's what this was. It was a performative attempt to take accountability, right? Which is fine. Anyway, long story short, that whole week, Ali is talking shit to me about Jenny. Ali's talking shit about Jenny. She's saying Jenny's this, Jenny's that. I'll be real with you. I was engaging in the shit talking as well. Ugh, God forbid I get involved in shit talking when I've been treated like shit. Am I proud of it? No. Would I take it back? Yes. Because you'll understand why. Friday rolls around and I send Jenny, I was trying to catch up with her so I could say this all in person. She was making it difficult. So I decided to send a voice memo to Jenny telling her how I felt about everything and what she did that upset me, right? Everything she did that upset me, how it makes me feel, and what... let me tell you, I was harsh, but I was also trying to be gentle, right? Pretty much just said to her, you did this, you did that. It's representative of the fact that you have no respect for me. I feel as though you have a bunch of narcissistic traits because you do this, you do that. Yada, yada, yada. But the matter. You put it in the world and you got it in you. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Right on time. You ain't nothing but a... Anyway. Jenny, the no accountability queen, comes back at me with, I respect and understand that, but... And then just puts like 5 paragraphs of things that... I feel like I'm never good enough for you. I feel like I'm never good enough for you. You talked shit about me to everyone this entire week, yada, yada, yada. And I'm thinking, talked shit about everyone this entire week? I only spoke to Ali and Liz, right? And Ali and Liz are both in this friendship group with Jenny. So then I think, oh my God, Ali has been talking shit about Jenny to me. Ali's gone and told Jenny all this stuff that Ali has said, not me. Ali said all this shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I said, I did speak a little bit of shit too. All this shit that Ali has said, but she's saying I said it all. Okay. She's told Jenny that I've said it all. Whatever. So I sent a message to Ali and I was like, dude, you are fucked in the head. Anyway, they're all fucked. All right. Also, just quickly, if you've got any feedback on the podcast, please comment it below because I really do want to make this an experience for everyone listening. So, you know, let me know, and I'll change it for you guys because you're so sweet. Yes, you're sweet treats. So yeah, let me know if you want more segments or you love a specific segment or you want a segment to be more isolated or you want a segment to be shorter. Like, for example, that story time. If you think that was way too fucking long, let me know. I'll shorten it. I don't mind. I'm pretty open. You know what I mean? I reckon I've potentially got some sexy time with someone. Sexy time. So let me give you some backstory. One time, me and my friend, I might have already chatted about this on the podcast once. Me and my friend went out to a club. There was a guy flirting with me and flirting with my friend. She's a girl, right? So I just thought to myself, he's straight. He's just flirting with me because he knows that I post on TikTok. He wants a little bit of clout, right? I was very, very intoxicated. So was my friend. Not very good. Don't drink alcohol, you silly little schnitzels. It's not good for your body. In saying that, it's very fun for your mind. Yes, it is dull. Anyway, let me have a sip just quickly. I've been talking for too long. At this club, he's flirting with me, flirting with my friend. My friend said she wanted to get with him, so I was like, all right. You know, much higher chance that he's into women than he is men, right? So I was like, all right, let me do everything in my power to make sure they get together. So I'm pulling, let's call this friend Alice and this guy, his name's Ethan. I don't even give a fuck. I'm gonna say his name. He's so fucking hot. That's for you, Ethan, you sexy bubba. That's fucking weird. Anyway, I'm like, Alice, Ethan, every time I see either of them, I'm pulling them together to make sure that they're flirting, they're loving it, they're enjoying their life, right? The whole night was doing that, but the whole night, Ethan was also like touching me up a little bit. Ethan's flirting with both me and Alice. Him and Alice end up kissing, like just pecking. Not, get a little bit of tongue involved, I'm sick of a peck. What's a peck gonna do? What's love got to do with it? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? They peck. Anyway, night's over. Ethan likes all my stuff on Instagram and stuff, right? I like all his stuff, if you know what I'm talking about. So Ethan's liking my stuff. So I decide, I'm like, you know what? I am so inactive when it comes to dating. I really don't put any effort into it, which is really bad because I really can't wait to find someone I love. But I also want to have really great experiences when it comes to like dating and stuff. I want to have crazy stories. I do have 1 or 2 stories, but nothing crazy, right? So I said to my friend, I actually said to Alice, I said, you don't mind if I, go after it, right? Because on reflection on that night, that man was very, sexually attracted to me as they happened to be. She's like, no, that's fine. Don't worry, Anth, go for it. Like, it's not like he's mine. I was like, all right, thank you. So I said to her, next time he posts a story, I'm going to respond smash. Ethan posts a story. It was like he was at a club or something, but it wasn't a photo of him or something else. I respond smash. Ethan responds, the fact that you replied smash and it's not even a photo of me crying at the club right now. So I think that's Ethan flirting with me. Say you'll be my one and only for the rest of my life. That was really nice, wasn't it? Thank you. Thanks. That was really... Thanks. Yeah, thank you. So anyway, long story short, that happened with Ethan. We had a little bit of a chat. He was trying to tell me to come to this other club on the weekend because he'll be there. Okay, you want me there? What do you want me there for? What do you want me there for? What are we going to do? Then when we going to do? Yeah, and then when we going to do? Anyway, that happened. Then this weekend, that he was saying to come this weekend, I didn't have anyone to go with, so I wasn't going to go. Fuck that shit, you know what I mean? Anyway, he said to me, sorry, I just took my cap off. I had to do that. Then he said to me, then I responded to another story of his, needy. I don't even know this guy. I responded to another story of his, which was a photo of him, and I said smash to this one again, I guess then, because it was a photo of him. He goes, that's so much better. So I think Ethan wants me. Let me know what you think. Do you think Ethan wants me? I wish I could show. It's probably rude to get up his Instagram and show the camera a photo of him, but he's so hot. I'm pretty sure he's a model. Ain't that the truth? So that's what happened with Ethan. So I'm thinking there might be some flirtation there, which is really good. I haven't had any prospect like romantic stuff in a little while. So that's really good. Another thing that happened this week, which broke my little hearty heart.
Raggy.
That was a good one. Come on. Seriously, if anyone works for like Universal Records, Mushroom Records, like Sony Records, how can you not sign that? How can you listen to that and not think, fuck, we've got to get this guy in the studio? You know what I mean? Whoa. Have you guys heard Beyonce when she goes what? My voice is on fire today, and we're gonna let it burn. Oh, this broke my heart. PJ, my beautiful nephew of 7 years old, told his dad, they were having a conversation about who he trusts. And he listed the people that he trusts. And then his dad said, oh, do you want to list some of the people you don't trust? And PJ broke my heart. He apparently said, well, I don't trust Uncle Anthony. And my brother-in-law goes, why don't you trust Uncle Anthony? And he goes, well, because he gets me to say bad words and then show... Oh, no, he didn't. I don't know what he said, actually. He said something like, I'm mean to him. I treat him mean. And like, that broke my heart because PJ, like, I love PJ so much and he loves me so much. Like, he literally said, he goes, I really love him though, but what do you call it? So I think now I've got to stop getting him to swear and filming it because I think that's why he doesn't trust me, which breaks my heart because he'll learn as he gets older. I'm the only person he can trust. I'm the only person in this family that you can trust, boy. I'm the only person. I'm the only one. I'm the only person. Don't fight this love. Only one. Do not fight it. Another story. Another thing that happened this week that I'll go into quickly. I was walking my beautiful doggy Xena. So I've got two dogs, two Dalmatians, Zeus and Xena, okay? They're the light of my life, right? But also the bane of my existence. I was walking Xena because Zeus didn't want to walk, and I'm walking down the street and there's this really, really sexy man walking his dog, right? So I'm like, Xena, act right. Do you know what I mean? Like, not that anything is going to happen with this man, but I'm like, Xena, don't act like a psychopath because like, and she is a psychopath, that's the issue. But don't act like a psychopath because it's embarrassing. I start walking past and she starts going, I'm like, oh my God. And this guy's like, hey mate, how are ya? Hey mate, how are ya? And I'm like, yeah, I am good. Wanna have sex? No, that's inappropriate. You can't just say that. You can't just say that. Oh, that's so stupid. Anyway, but it was embarrassing. She also bit me. Anyone watching can see I'll show my finger to the camera. She bit me, which was a nice experience. She was trying to bite a dog. She was trying to bite a dog, but I stopped her and she bit my finger instead. And I did have a swollen thumb. Yep, it's okay. It happens to the best of us. Xena, we love you for who you are, but you're 11 years old. You've got to stop this shit. Do you know what I mean? You've got to grow up, Z. You've really got to grow up. So last night, I was on Instagram and I saw someone from my high school had posted a story, and I clicked on the story, saw the story. Mind you, I went to an all-boys high school, and I was like, I bet this guy's not following me anymore. So I clicked on his following list, not following me. So I thought to myself, you know what? Not that this matters or anything, but I've got 250,000 followers on Instagram. At this point, I've got 850,000 on TikTok. I was like, I'm going to go through all the people that I follow on Instagram, and I'm going to go through all the people that, I follow on Instagram and unfollow them if they're not following me back, because I don't need that energy in my life. I don't want people who, don't want to see me. I don't want to see them. You know what I mean? So I went through, and I know this is kind of rude and offensive, but like, it was all the losers that had unfollowed me since I started posting. You know what I mean? It's like, why are you judging me? You're a fucking loser. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I was not popular in high school at all. I literally had 4 friends. You know what I mean? Maybe 6. But like, it was literally these fucking losers unfollowing me from high school. Like, literally nerds that had no friends. And I'm like, how fucking rude. I was a fellow nerd. You should be proud of me for doing well. You know what I mean? So nasty. So nasty. I'm thinking of a few people. Ugly on the inside, ugly on the outside. That's all I'll say. Ugly on the inside, ugly on the outside. But yeah, I just couldn't believe that. Unfollowing me? You know what I mean? Like, why? Next segment, which isn't really a segment, but I call it the everything segment. Everything segment, which is just anything else in the week that didn't really happen during the week, but it's stuff that I want to talk about. So, one thing I wanted to talk about that's really, really random is I was thinking about it this week, and do you know what I really, really want? Like, this is just something that I really want, so I'm putting it out there into the universe, and I know I'll have it one day. Don't get me wrong, I know I will have this one day. I want a TV series or a movie, like for example, like Despicable Me movie, where I play every single character. So say there's like the main character, he speaks like this, "Hello, my name is Joe Blow, what's your name?" And then his wife, I can play his wife. "Hi, Joe Blow. I'm so glad you're home from work." And then, let's say his best friend,
"Hey guys, how you going today? My name is Dr. Measlebottom. What are you doing today? You are from South Germany. I don't know where you're from. No, this is Irish or Scottish. Yes, Scottish."
And then there's another character. His name is Professor Murraybottom. "Hello, my name is Professor Murraybottom, and I'm a professional actor, dancer, singer, choreographer." Right? Wouldn't that just be so fun? And then eventually I also want a series where do you know Chris Lilly? Shout out Chris Lilly. If you don't know who Chris Lilly is, he's an Australian legend who essentially has multiple shows where he plays there's like 6 main characters, like literally physical human bodies, but he just puts on like costumes and wigs, and he does such an amazing job. So I'd love to do that one day. We'll do that. If anyone works in Hollywood or even in the Australian production industry, hit me up. Let me know what I have to do. I'm happy to write the whole thing. You know, I'm quite a doer. Yes, I do engage in a lot of doing. So let me know, and I'll get that done. If I have to write it, I'll do it. Another thing I want to do is write a book, Sweet Treat Kids book. Oh, that's really sweet. Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, wouldn't it be nice? All right. I also thought maybe in this everything segment, I would discuss my dating life. I actually filmed a video the other day about this, but I'm not posting it. So I thought maybe I'd just include it in the podcast. Dating history. I actually can't bother talking about this. First person I dated, Jerry, was so in love with him. He was in love with me, but he says he wasn't. Liar, liar, why your pants on fire, fire? You're a liar, Jerry, you're a liar, Jerry, you're a liar. Everyone knows you loved me, and now you're gonna die. You're gonna be killed by the king. Anyway, loved him so much that lasted literally all of 5 months. He was my first ever boyfriend. That's right, I'm a gay belle. So that was fun. Then I dated a guy, let's call him Jerry 2.0, about a year and a half after that. That lasted literally all of 3 weeks before I realized I didn't really like him, but then we were casual for like 4 months. Then about a year and a half after that, so that the first one was 18 to 19, the second one was 20 to 20, like just before I was 21. And then the most recent one when I was 22 to 23 was a guy, let's call him Jerry 3.0. He has a girlfriend. I'm not going to say had, because he still has that same girlfriend. And we just fell in love. Like, nothing ever happened. He never actually admitted what he felt. Liar, liar, pants on fire. But everyone around us knew there was something special with he and I. Yeah, it was really nice. I think I've actually spoken about this podcast before. Every time that we're out, you know what I mean? Like, we've got mutual friends. So every time there's a birthday, he gets really drunk, clings to me, and everyone is always like, oh, I didn't know Anthony had a boyfriend. He doesn't. This man just doesn't leave me the fuck alone. Even to this day, he's got a freaking girlfriend. Go speak to the girlfriend. Don't freaking talk to me. I'm not your bloody significant other. You've got one, not me, child. So go away. So that was that. Then this year, 24, that's the big 2-4. You know what they say? There's no year like the 24th year of your life. That's what it is what they say down in Wonderland. Well, there are people in life who are going to undermine your success. Don't let them take what you've been through and make it anything less. That was nice. I've got a new segment called First World Problems. These are my first world problems. Number one. So I don't know if you guys know, you would know if you watched the first episode of this podcast. I am currently building a house. Yes, congratulations. You'll build houses. That's sweet money, big boy. So I'm building a house. But let me tell you, the more I work with people, the more I realize everyone's fucking incompetent. The architect, she's done a great job with the plans, I think, right? I mean, I told her what I wanted, but she has done a great job. I'll give her that. Shout out to her. She's done a great job. But like, tell me why it takes her a week and a half to respond to an email. What are you doing? I know this is a first world problem. Shush! That's why it's in the segment First World Problems, right? But like, what are you doing, doll? Like, fucking hell, mate. Just fucking respond to my email. And I know it doesn't take fucking 2 weeks for you to put together a colour on a fucking plans. You know what I mean? It probably takes you 20 minutes. That's why it's just disappointing. It's like, I fucking want this house built. The reason why it's taking so long is because you fuckers take so long. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one else making it take long except for you fuckers. So you can't be like, yeah, it's a really long process. You're the long process. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's one of my first world problems. Another one of my first world problems. I noticed that I hit my car. Yeah, got a big, not a dent, but like underneath my car on the right hand side, I noticed like underneath, it's pushed, like it's, because I noticed one of my panels was like a bit out. I must have gone up a curb. Oh, God forbid I fucking go up a curb. You know what I mean? What are curbs there for? What are curbs there for if not to go up them? Now, this is a segment everyone's been waiting for. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It's called Confessional. Right? Essentially, this segment is just, and whenever I have guests on, I'll get them to kind of confess their sins, right? Just something they feel they need to confess, get off their chest, right? So the first thing I've got to confess, so because I'm quitting the school, I feel like I can say this because I can't get in trouble because I'm quitting. There was one time a student did something at the school, and under my breath, I'd made a joke. I went, you little loser. Like that, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't actually trying to be mean. I was trying to be like, you little loser. You know what I mean? This student heard me, and he goes, you just called me a loser. The student was 7 at the time, and I went, no, I didn't, buddy. I said something like, I said, you're funny, or something like that. He goes, no, you called me a loser. And I'm like, buddy, I promise you I didn't. And he was hellbent that I called him a loser, because I did call him a loser. You know what I mean? I felt so guilty for it. I felt so guilty. Then, 20 minutes later, his mum comes to pick him up. She says to my boss, can I please speak to Anthony? Who's Anthony? Comes and gets me. Did you call my son a loser? No, I didn't call... Told you, I promise you, buddy, I didn't call you a loser. Buddy, I didn't call you a loser. I didn't call you a loser. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I felt so guilty. I had to gaslight. I swear. Honestly, I deserve all the bad karma in the world. I had to gaslight because, like, I wasn't going to get in trouble for calling him a loser. And I didn't mean it how he thinks the word loser was anyway. I was just like, little loser. You know what I mean? Like, I call myself a loser 24/7, but that's my confessional. I'm not proud of it. I am remorseful of my actions. Lock me up. You know what I mean? Now, the next confession isn't like, it's not anything bad or sin I've done. It's just really dumb. I said to my friend yesterday that I feel like conniving should be pronounced kniving. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, the word conniving, like it's spelt like Kniving, conniving. And she's like, I don't think it is. And I was like, yeah, it's spelled like knife. Like, and we'd say knife, we don't say knife. And she goes, Ant, I don't think conniving is spelled like that. I searched it up. Conniving is spelled Conniving. Conniving. No. Conniving. I thought it was conniving, like Kniving. So this whole time I was thinking, it's such a shitty word. Why is it spelled conniving? Our second last segment for the day, or maybe it's the third last. Second last, third last. Random thoughts. I'm just going to fire through these because I can't be bothered harping on about them. But first one. How does random thoughts. That's how the segment's gonna go. Random thoughts. Random thoughts. Or it should be like random thoughts. This is a random thought. This is a random thought. This is a random thought. So, how does everything on Earth just work? Do you know what I mean? That's what's trippy for me. Like, this is why this has got to be a simulation. What do you mean? I breathe in oxygen and plants breathe in carbon dioxide, which I breathe out, and they breathe out oxygen so that I can breathe it. What do you mean? I eat animals and plants and then poo it out, and that creates seeds for more plants, and then animals eat that. No, that doesn't make sense. What do you mean it just all happens to work? It all happens to work, but it doesn't work. We've got war. We've got fires. What are you talking about? That feels fucked up. Everything just works. What do you mean there's something called gravity that keeps me on the floor? Nah. Something's off. What do you mean? Oh, realistically, I should be floating right now, but there's something we have on Earth and other bodies of mass that pulls me down to the floor perfectly so that I can just walk just normally. What do you mean it just works? It just somehow life just works. That feels wrong. It feels intimidating. I don't know. If you're a Swifties listen up. Swifties, get your ears in the listening mode. What if Taylor Swift already has kids? What if T-Swizzle already has children? Because I thought about it. She's 36, not to put pressure on any women, not to stereotype any women, but usually most women want to have a child before that age, right? Most women want to have at least one child because I'm pretty sure there's a biological clock. I know there's a biological clock. I'm just trying to be politically correct. There's a biological clock. So most women are like, I want to have at least one by 32 or 33, right? If they can, if they're able to have babies. Lord knows I can't, right? Taylor Swift's 36. She's one of the most successful women on earth. She's got all the resources at her feet. I reckon it's possible that she's got kids and she just doesn't have them out in the media. Think about it. She's very rarely seen by paparazzi and stuff like that. I don't actually know that. I'm just presuming that. I reckon she's got kids at home and she just never brings, she brings them out, but no one knows. You know what I mean? I reckon Taylor Swift's got kids. My prediction. That's my prediction. Now, last random thought. Performative is the word of the year. Performative. You're performative. It's like, do you remember how gaslighting and narcissist was the words? Everyone was saying you're a gaslighter, you're a narcissist. Performative is this year's word. You know, when people are being like superficial, right? So like someone apologizes, but they're only apologizing to say sorry and to say that, oh, I said sorry and everything. Like I literally apologized. Performative. That's performative. Because if you were genuinely sorry, you would have already said sorry. What else is something that's performative, you know? People posting, you know, political stuff on their story when they're not even good people. Like these people, you know what I mean? Like I had an old friend who used to always post politically correct stuff on her story. Ask your friends, are you okay? Not once did she reach out to me to make sure my mental health was okay during Corona lockdowns. Not once did my lady do that. Not once did she do that. Wait, that felt like Michael Jackson-esque. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? When the car comes. Now it's time for a segment. One of the last segments. Can I say that? Hey, can I say that? Wait, can I still say that? Can I still say... Hey, can I say that? Can I still say that? Can I still say that? Wait, am I allowed to still say that? That's what this segment is. It's everything that you think of that you're like, am I allowed to say that? Or is that, you know, like not okay? First one, I think Chinese people have it all figured out. I think Chinese people have everything figured out. I don't know what it is about Chinese people, and I don't want to racially stereotype them. Very intelligent. Very intelligent. I feel like Chinese people as a whole, as a collective, just a genius as, for example, Chinese medicine. I don't know nothing about it. Never have I ever been to a Chinese medicinologist or whatever they're called. But let me tell you, I believe they would be able to cure everything and anything. I reckon if I had cancer, not to make light of cancer, everyone in my family gets cancer, so I can make jokes about it. Literally everyone, touch wood. In my immediate family, 3 people have had fucking cancer. My immediate family. That's fucked, right? Including my brother. That's fucked. Anyway. Where was I going with that? I reckon if I had like fucking severe stage 4 cancer, Chinese medicine fixes it. I reckon 100%. You go to a Chinese doctor, Chinese medicine doctor, I don't know, like is a naturopath, I don't know what it's called. Yep, take this herb, no more cancer. I genuinely reckon. AIDS, why didn't we get the Chinese medicine people on it? I reckon they would have cured it. Slippery slope, but I'm gay, I can talk about it. Haha, see how when you get the pass, you can use it wherever you want? Lucky, lucky, lucky. Now, this one I'm just going to say and not elaborate because I feel like I'll get myself in trouble, but I genuinely believe that black women should be the only people to sing ever. Have you heard black women sing? Yes, you obviously have Beyonce. What's the song? If I were a boy, even just for a day, I'd roll out of bed in the morning and poo on who I wanted and go. Off key. No, you're off key, so don't yell at me. So that's that one. Yeah, I just think black women just sing like there's, I don't know, it's from their soul. I don't know. I actually don't know how to explain it. When black women sing, it's just so much more of an experience for me than anyone else. So I'll just leave it there. You know what I mean? Now, I don't mind when people, this is my last, can I say that? Can I say that? Can I say that? I don't mind when people are homophobic. Especially men. Women being homophobic is just fucking weird. We're literally just you in a man's body. You know what I mean? Like, why are you being homophobic? Men being homophobic, I don't really care because I've said this a bunch of times on TikTok and stuff. I don't really care because like when some man's homophobic, I know that they're gay. You know what I mean? Like when a man is homophobic, I know that he's gay. So I don't care when he's homophobic because also there's 2 reasons. One, when a man's gay, obviously he can say homophobic stuff. So the fact that he's gay, he can say homophobic stuff. And 2, I actually just feel empathy for them. I just feel empathy for them. If a man's homophobic, I feel sad for them. Now, the last segment to finish up for today. You ready? You ready? You ready? It's a segment that I've had from the first or second episode. It's called Drumroll. Wrong or right? Wrong or right? Wrong or right? Wrong or right? Am I in the wrong or am I in the right? So, I don't know if any of you listening to this podcast remember, but a few months ago, about a month ago, I made bolognese for my family for Family Sundays. Me and my family, really close. I love my family. Shout out family. Do Family Sundays every Sunday. We're about 20 of us, my immediate family plus a couple others. And sometimes some friends come and we get together every single Sunday. About a month ago, I make a really mean bolognese. It's my friend Sonia's mum's recipe, her nonna's recipe. Gorgeous freaking bolognese, gorgeous family, right? So I made the bolognese about a month ago. Long story short, my mum started adding stuff to that bolognese just because she needs to have control. That darling, my mum, she's a fucking control freak. She needs to have some sort of control or influence on it, especially because it was in the kitchen. And her and I had a big fight about it. I was like, do not touch my cooking. Just don't fucking touch it. Love you, but don't touch my cooking. This weekend, I was making bolognese again for the first time in 2 months or whatever since I'd made that bolognese. And I can just see her like seething around the kitchen. And every step of the way of things I'm making, oh, do you want me to do this? Do you want me to cut up the onions? Do you want me to cut up this? I go, Mum, relax, I'm making it. You can make whatever you're making. Because usually we make a bunch of stuff for Family Sundays. There's 20 people. I can see her. She's asking every step of the way. She then goes, as I'm pouring the tomato passata, it's called. It's like the sauce, the like red sauce that you put in. I'm pouring the tomato passata in. She goes, you know you have to add water and let it simmer. Baby girl, I've made this bolognese 100 fucking times. I've made it 100 fucking times. I posted about this on TikTok. Don't fucking tell me what, and I literally go, seriously, mate? Don't fucking tell me what I need to put in. I know what to put in my fucking bolognese. And I felt a little bit guilty. I kept on going to her the whole step of the way. Don't add anything in my bolognese. I was treating her a little bit like a child. And I felt guilty because I was like, she's my mum. I shouldn't be treating her like a child. But then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, but the thing is, she acts like a child sometimes. Like, she's adding shit to my fucking bolognese when I've asked her not to. So I just wanted to quickly ask, am I in the wrong or right? Wrong or right? Wrong or right? Wrong or right? for like treating her a little bit like a child to make sure she doesn't add stuff to my bolognese. Because I don't think I am, because I'm just trying to make sure she's doesn't control. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I don't know what I think. I think I was in the right. There was actually no way around it. That was the only way I was going to stop her from adding anything, was treating her a little bit like a child. And I did that and it worked. But yeah, that's actually the end of today's podcast. Do you believe it or not? I actually really enjoyed myself today. I enjoy myself every time filming this. Again, really grateful for you guys giving me the opportunity to be able to do this, and, you know, you listening to me. I really do love you all. Even though I don't know you individually, I really have this collective love for you guys, and I really appreciate what you allow me to do. And I really just want you guys to have the best week. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy a couple sweet treats on me, darling. Yeah, enjoy a couple sweet treats. Yeah, you do that. Yeah, you enjoy it. Alright, well, thanks for watching the Undiagnosed show. And I'll chat to you when I chat to you. Love yous. Bye.